Basic English Grammar for ESL Students, Lesson 7. Welcome to my Basic English Grammar class, Adverbs of Frequency. Adverbs of Frequency. Adverbs of frequency answer how often questions. I study English on Mondays. I go to class every Monday. Who studies English on Mondays? I do. What do you do on Mondays? I study. What do you study on Mondays? English. When do you study English? On Mondays. Who goes to class every Monday? I do. What do you do every Monday? I go to class. Where do you go every Monday? To class. When do you go to class? Every Monday. How often do you study English on Mondays? I always study English on Mondays, 100%. Always is an adverb of frequency, 100%. How often do you go to class every Monday? I always go to class every Monday. Always, adverb of frequency, 100%. I always go to class every Monday. What's the question? Use the adverb of frequency. Who always goes to class every Monday? What's the question? Use the adverb of frequency. Where do you always go every Monday? What's the question? Use the adverb of frequency. When do you always go to class? What's the question? How often do you go to class every Monday? Adverb of frequency, 0%. I never go to class on Sundays. What's the question? Use the adverb of frequency. Who never goes to class on Sundays? What's the question? Use the adverb of frequency. When do you never go to class? What's the question? How often do you go to class on Sundays? Question. Do you go to class on Sundays? No, I do not. Do you ever go to class on Sundays? No, I don't. Adverb of frequency, 90% to 99%. She usually eats breakfast every morning. Does she eat breakfast every day? No, she doesn't. Usually. What's the question? How often does she eat breakfast? Breakfast. What's the question? What does she usually eat every morning? What's the question? Use the adverb of frequency. When does she usually eat breakfast? What's the question? Who usually eats breakfast every morning? Adverb of frequency, often. Often is less than usually. I often play baseball at the park on Saturdays. The answer is play. What's the question? What do you often do at the park on Saturdays? At the park. The question? Where do you often play baseball on Saturdays? On Saturdays. When do you often play baseball at the park? Often. The question? How often do you play baseball at the park on Saturdays? I do. Who often plays baseball at the park on Saturdays? Adverb of frequency from 1% to 49%. I drink coffee at night. Who drinks coffee at night? I do. What do you drink at night? Coffee. When do you drink coffee? At night. Adverb of frequency, seldom. How often do you drink coffee at night? I seldom drink coffee at night. She takes the bus to school. Who takes the bus to school? What does she take to school? Where does she take the bus? Adverb of frequency, rarely. How often does she take the bus to school? She rarely takes the bus to school. They watch TV during the day. Who watches TV during the day? When do they watch TV? Adverb of frequency, hardly ever. How often do they watch TV during the day? They hardly ever watch TV during the day. Adverb of frequency, sometimes. Sometimes is less than often, but more than seldom, rarely, and hardly ever. She sometimes buys clothes at Walmart on Sundays. The answer is clothes. What's the question? What does she sometimes buy at Walmart on Sundays? What's the question? Where does she sometimes buy clothes on Sundays? The question? When does she sometimes buy clothes at Walmart? The question? How often does she buy clothes at Walmart on Sundays? The question? Who sometimes buys clothes at Walmart on Sundays? She does. This is the end of Basic English Grammar for ESL Students, Lesson 7. Thank you for watching.